Greetings, I'm Walter Bernasiak, and this is Top 5. Here we count down the best and worst performances of our most beloved actors. Today, we take a look at the best of Johnny Depp. Savvy? Johnny Depp is without a doubt one of the best actors of his generation. From the beginning, he's pushed the envelope in ways that other actors wouldn't dare. His range from playing lovably goofy characters to stone-cold killers and everything in between is well documented. The guy can pretty much do anything. He's created icons while crafting a career that spanned 32 years. When Depp is on his game, he's one of the best screen presences, maybe ever. And these are the best of the best, his top 5 best performances. Number 5, Agent Sheldon Jeffrey Sands in Once Upon a Time in Mexico. This is probably not what you were expecting. Once Upon a Time in Mexico is the last in director Robert Rodriguez's Mexico trilogy. It features some amazing action and is quite underrated, but Johnny Depp 100% steals the show. This is the coolest performance of his whole career. The mythical hero El Mariachi returns. This time he's caught in the middle of a war between drug cartels, CIA and FBI agents, plus the haunting memories of the death of his family. In the battle for Mexico, El must navigate through all the players in this game while trying to take revenge on the man who murdered his wife and daughter. We all know Antonio Banderas is cool. He exudes it in this character, so it says a lot when Depp as Agent Sands outdoes him in the charisma department. The attitude that he shows off here is effortlessly magnetic.
Are you a Mexican or a Mexicant?
It is so good that when I'm finished with it, I'll pay my check, walk straight into the kitchen, and shoot the cook. Because that's what I do. I restore the balance to this country. Savvy?
This is the perfect mix of Depp getting to show off his comedic side with some great dry humor and legitimately being a badass throughout the film, especially towards the end. And a lot of the time, they go hand in hand.
You know that withholding vital information from a federal officer is a serious offense, especially when that officer has paid handsomely for it and wouldn't think twice about ripping that patch off your eye hole and skull fucking you to death.
This is the kind of character who's supposed to be an undercover CIA agent, but wears CIA t-shirts in public. He just does not give a crap. Every time he's on screen, you're hanging on his unpredictability. Is he going to say a cool, funny line or suddenly shoot the person he's talking to? You never know, and it keeps him interesting.
See anything you like?
No.
The end of the film contained his best scenes, and they are so much fun to watch. This character's appeal rivals that of Jack Sparrow, and I had to put it in at number 5. If you're a fan of Rodriguez's non-kid movie style, go check this one out. Number 4, James Whitey Bulger in Black Mass. This one just came out last year and proves Depp can still give us fresh and unsettling performances. Based on a true story, Whitey Bulger was a small-time Boston gangster when he's approached by his old friend John Connolly to become an FBI informant. Over the following years, Bulger abuses his status and corrupts his FBI friends to the point where he became one of the biggest crime bosses in US history. The rise and fall of Bulger's empire are chronicled in this tale. From the beginning, Depp is a heavy, intimidating presence. He's unhinged and creepy, but he can also be somewhat sympathetic. Those different sides to Bulger's personality make this one of Depp's best. The element of not knowing when Bulger will snap makes you keep an eye on him at all times. One second he's your friend, the next he's strangling you to death. Those scenes are terrifying. It makes you think how a man who seemed to love his mother, wife, and son so much can be so angry and cold in brutally murdering people. By far, the creepiest scene is when he confronts John Connolly's wife. It made my skin crawl.
Any soreness there? What are you feeling there? You feel something? 'Cause I don't feel any swollen glands there.
The only thing I'd say against this performance is that the makeup on Depp doesn't quite work. He looks like an alien with the blue eye contacts. They never look good on people with naturally dark eyes. It's weird because the age progression on everyone else in the movie is great. Depp's the only one who doesn't look right. I think they should have just blended Depp's natural features with a few elements of Bulger's look. Other than that, this is one of Depp's best and shows us just how dark he can go. Number 3. Edward Scissorhands in Edward Scissorhands. This was the genesis of a partnership that continues to this day. Johnny Depp and Tim Burton's first collaboration together is still arguably their best. When suburban saleswoman Peg discovers a young man with scissors for hands in the attic of an abandoned old mansion, she takes the gentle Edward to live with her and her family. Edward eventually falls for Peg's daughter, and after a while, the townspeople turn on him, citing his freakish hands and inability to distinguish right from wrong as the reasons for outcasting him. When I was younger, I didn't even realize that Depp played Edward. He's very quiet and soft-spoken with minimal dialogue, and it's still kind of hard to recognize him. The good stuff from Depp comes in a lot of how he innocently interacts with the world around him. He's so sympathetic that you're on his side from the start, while seeing just how much he doesn't fit into this perfect suburban setting. Many times it's humorous, but that's also the real tragedy of the character. I love how people don't initially react to Edward as that much of a freak. He's sort of seen that way at the beginning, but it's not as big of a deal as you would think. They only really treat him badly later on. This is a Tim Burton movie that feels so fresh nowadays. It still has all his trademarks, but for some reason, Edward Scissorhands seems so honest and sincere. I wish I could say that about all his work. The little facial expressions and reactions that Depp sprinkles throughout this movie are genius. It's a sweet story by Burton that no one else could have pulled off. This is Depp at his best. Well, third best. Number 2.
Let's get on with it already, mate. There's no need for the foreplay. We all know what number 1 is. You can skip 2 through 5.
Let me guess, you're Jim Sparrow.
Captain Jim Sparrow.
Number 2. Captain Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean: Curse of the Black Pearl.
That's right. Wait, what?
The Black Pearl is a mysterious ship that houses a cursed crew led by their captain Barbossa. When they storm Port Royal to find a missing piece of treasure that could lift their curse, they kidnap the daughter of the governor, Elizabeth Swann, and leave. The former captain of the Black Pearl, Jack Sparrow, teams up with blacksmith Will Turner to chase them down and recover both Jack's beloved ship and Will's beloved Elizabeth. Based off my favorite ride at Disneyland, this movie created a pop culture icon in Jack Sparrow. He's now one of the most popular movie characters in history, and I think it's safe to say it's now what Depp is most identified with. Depp's charisma and likability are at an all-time high with this performance. People love Jack Sparrow, and we all know why. He's fun, funny, smart, witty, a troublemaker, and pretty much the closest live-action version of a Bugs Bunny type character I think we'll ever get. I wanted to mention that I don't think Jeffrey Rush as Barbossa gets enough credit for his performance. He's the perfect foil for Jack and also created an iconic character, so let's not forget about him when we talk about Pirates of the Caribbean. Depp isn't just all style with no substance as Sparrow either. There's still some really good motivations underneath all the eye makeup and slurred speech.
That's what a ship is, you know. It's not just a keel and a hull and a deck and sails. That's what a ship needs. But what a ship is, what the Black Pearl really is freedom.
I love Pirates of the Caribbean. While the sequels never measured up to the original, they're still entertaining to watch, yes, even on Stranger Tides. Depp as Captain Jack is that franchise. Without him, it wouldn't be what it is today.
Son, I'm Captain Jack Sparrow. Savvy?
What could beat Jack Sparrow? Well, just one performance. Johnny Depp has some amazing work that I can't fit into just 5 roles. So, before we get to number 1, here are some honorable mentions. And the number 1 best Johnny Depp performance is Edward D. Wood Jr. in Ed Wood. I love Ed Wood. The movie and this performance by Depp are near perfection. As a filmmaker, I identify with his struggles, and in terms of making movies, I may be more like him than I care to admit. Ed Wood doesn't exactly fit in as a Hollywood director. His strange personality and eccentric script ideas make him an outsider. However, a chance meeting with former Dracula Bela Lugosi starts to change all that. With a team of misfits at his side, Ed manages to create an oddly appealing string of super low-budget movies. The undying, optimistic energy that Depp charges into this performance is spectacular. He is so funny and relatable in a way that everyone can appreciate. He's a schemer with a heart of gold, and I love every second he's on screen.
Sound?
Ed, we don't have sound.
Oh. And action!
Mr. Wood?
Huh?
I only got 1 hour sleep last night.
Yeah, well, I got no sleep and I feel great. Go get him, kid.
Eddie's the only fella in town who doesn't pass judgment on people.
That's right. If I did, I wouldn't have any friends.
The foundation of this film is the friendship between Ed Wood and Bela Lugosi. Martin Landau is astonishing as the former horror star, and his relationship with his dear Eddie is hilarious, but very authentic and heartwarming. They're there for each other in ways I wouldn't have expected. They're just a great team.
It'll warm up once you're in it.
Fuck you! You come out here!
The amount of joy that Johnny Depp as Ed Wood brings into this world is something that this planet needs more of. He concocted a performance that is hysterical, relatable, and genuine. In my opinion, it's his best. I want to hear what you guys think. What is your favorite Johnny Depp performance and/or movie? Who do you want me to cover next on the show? Leave a comment and let me know. Follow me on Twitter at awesome_Walter and come back next week when we count down the top 5 worst Johnny Depp performances. Till then, goodbye.